How you doing, ma'am?
Hey.
What is your name?
At Peace Mikita.
At Peace?
Makita.
Okay, At Peace Makita. You were telling me quite an interesting story about Detroit. So here's what I want you to tell me first of all.
Okay.
What is Detroit's problem and where did it begin?
Detroit's problem is, in my opinion, opinions. It's ideas and perceptions, and a lot of people are losing focus or losing sight of what's really going on. But I think Detroit's problem mainly is a breakdown. It's simple relationship issues, breakdown in communication, misunderstanding of views and ideas, and on both sides, politically as well as the residents, frustration on both sides. And what I would like to see happen is everyone come and find a common ground. I would hate for this to turn into something racial or something that really doesn't have to be, if we all just try to understand each other's side and find that middle ground.
Okay, now you just brought up you said racial. I hadn't said racial, so tell me a little bit about what you mean exactly by racial.
Well, a lot of talk is being made about this being a predominantly black city, African American city, over 85%. And how the bureaucracy or the higher ups in politics are trying to oppress poor people or to oppress this issue because it has a lot to do with African Americans. So that's something that we need to talk about. This is what I'm saying. We need to have conversations. We need to be real. We need to really come to an understanding. And are we still living in the same world that we were in before, or are we actually in a new world already?
Right.
But we won't know that if we don't communicate with each other. And then when we are communicating, it's a bunch of arguing, fighting, things brought up from the past and all of that. Deal with what's happening now, And so that's what they're.
Okay, now right now this big issue, this march that we just had a lot to do with water. Now, is water just a symptom or of a bigger problem? Is this just used as a not a token, but as a meme for a real problem?
I think so. I mean, it's not one thing, it's everything. That's one of the slogans that we're using for this protest. Like, it's not just the water. It's not just foreclosures. It's not just, the bankruptcy of the city. It's a lot of things going on. And when you deal with constant badgery this water issue is just pretty much everything coming to a head, really, because this city and the residents here and everybody involved has been badgered for years. So now that we're here talking about water, but what else have we been talking about for the past 10 or 12 years?
Yeah, I understand that. I was happy to see that they brought in the banking issue with the foreclosure issue, which was a big issue in this city and cities across the country. I'm glad they brought in the issue of privatization of the educational system. Are there any other issues that you think directly affected the decline of Detroit?
That's a touchy question.
Okay.
I don't know. It's multi-layered. It's multi-dimensional. It's not just one thing. And if we have to make it about one thing, let's make it about relationship building. Right. This, to me, is no different than, of course, the struggle in the 60s and all of the drama that's happened, during the Civil Rights Movement and all of that. And so now we're back to it. So how are we going to do this differently? How are we going to actually come up with a solution where we don't have to do this, our children won't have to do this again in 50 or 100 years? It's like, where are we going with this? So my hope is that we all understand that it's multidimensional. It's a lot of different things going on. It's not just one thing. And so, but the one thing we can do about all these things is communicate. Is come to an understanding. Mutual respect is my goal in working with the different organizations and doing the work that I'm doing. Let's find a common ground of mutual respect. Let's level the playing field first before we start, choosing sides of anything. So that's really all I have to say.
Well, At Peace, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.